looking ahead to the Falcons, I think that this is kind of the perfect team. I mean, well, the perfect team would be the Lions,
Yeah.
but short of having a terrible team come in here, I think the Patriots match up really well with the Falcons. I mean, the Falcons had a pretty bad defense last year, both against the run and in the air. They made a lot of changes. A lot of young guys kind of did what the Pats did, but if the Pats were making changes from here, a higher level, the Falcons were kind of making changes from a lower level where they really, the strength of their offense and a weak schedule really kind of masked their problems on defense last year, and this year it's been the same type of thing. They've been stingy with scoring defense, though, which is good, but they've also played 2 home games against 2-0-2 teams, so I'm not sure that the Falcons are. I don't know how well they're going to play on the road against a good team that needs a win. I think it's kind of tailor-made for the Pats to hit it out of the park. I'm not saying they're going to kill them, but
they've at least got to play better than they did. I mean, I'm sure being at home will help too. But I mean, when was the last time you saw Tom Brady essentially cost the Patriots a game?
I didn't see it that way.
All those delay of game calls. I mean,
yeah, he was. I mean, he was definitely not on his game. I mean, he was. And obviously it provides a blueprint to other teams. Like, here's what you're going to do. Here's what you can do to rattle Tom Brady. The only problem is
how many teams can do that.
How many teams can do that, and B, how long can you do it against Belichick before Belichick says, okay, they're throwing this at us every week. It only takes him. Belichick always makes the adjustment. I mean, you saw it last year with Castle. He came in. They kind of put in a different offense for Castle. They were running the ball more. They were using different sets. They were protecting Castle. And as the year went on, they kind of turned him loose more and more and more as he was comfortable. So I think they wanted to do that a little bit early on, but they just haven't had the opportunity to do it that way. But the Falcons is a great opportunity for them to run the ball, which...
Yeah, they're not going to be able to do the things on defense that the Jets could.
No.
Which means you're going to kind of be able to play your own game. And that is definitely the one thing that was sorely lacking last Sunday was the running game.
Right.
It's one thing when Brady throws 53 passes in the first game because they're trying to come back, and
right.
He needs to do that to get them.
They did run the ball in the first half of the first game,
but they've since abandoned that, and I don't know if that's a statement on just who the personnel are in there right now. I don't even remember if I saw Sammy Morris in game 2 at all.
You know what? That's one little bone I have to pick with Belichick. I mean, he traded David Thomas right at the end of training camp. He got Michael Matthews in here, and then game 1, he basically uses Matt Light as his third tight end, and then game 2, he's got he doesn't have a fullback, so he's got Sammy Morris. The only time he saw him on the field was playing fullback, and Sammy Morris is 200 pounds and 33 years old. He's not a fullback, so I think having a team without a fullback, unless he expects that Matthews is going to grow into that role, But again, it's something that they do. Belichick is willing to have. He's a very patient coach in that he's willing for things to go wrong on the field to a certain extent. He's willing to. Maybe it's just because he has the confidence, but I think he's willing to take some chances and with personnel groupings and see how it'll go and see, okay, can I get away with this? Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But
yeah, he's not a coach that has to worry about winning every game. His job is not in jeopardy here.
Yeah, exactly. So, but I think they can still run the ball, and this is again what sets up to me a great matchup against Atlanta. Is Atlanta was terrible at stopping the run to start with, and they just lost their. I mean, they drafted a defensive tackle in the first round, Perry Jerry, I believe that's how you say his name, and he's out for the year. So they when you draft a defensive tackle in the first round, those guys almost always, unless they're terrible, they go right in the lineup, and you're counting on that guy, and now he's out for the season. So that's for a run defense, that is the equivalent of losing your starting quarterback, is losing that nose tackle. They're going to plug another big guy in there, but it's going to be it's a lesser light. So knowing how Belichick operates. We could have a drinking game where every time I say Belichick, the listener would have to drink their soft drink of choice.
Sure.
Have a sip. I'm going to do it right now. Hold on.
Your soft drink of choice today would be Mountain Dew.
Mountain Dew in a cup.
From one of our fine sponsors, I see.
Yeah, from Unkin O Nuts.
America runs on Unkin.
Now Atlanta's offense. I don't know, Tim. What do you think of Matt Ryan? You think he's got what it takes?
Well, I think
I'd say he does.
I think that he's definitely a good quarterback. I wonder how much of last year was kind of overinflated because he was a rookie and he was a rookie doing all this stuff. But when you look around the league and you see there's a lot of teams who are getting by with mediocre quarterbacks right now, and he seems to be one of the ones that's poised to break into that next level. To me, the offense that he has, though, he's still kind of figuring out how to best use it. Obviously, Michael Turner, you can just hand him the ball and watch.
Michael Turner's good.
I think they're still learning where they, they're still picking their spots a little bit. I think the additions they made in the offseason are certainly going to help when you bring them in one of the best possible weapons.
Yeah, Tony Gonzalez is great.
So I think any quarterback is lucky to have him because he can bail you out in so many ways, and he's developed that rapport already with Roddy White, and that's given you kind of a young Harrison Manning combination for the age. I mean, do they scare me? No, but do I think that they're going to be good, they're going to be fun to watch, and they're going to do some big things down the line? Absolutely.
Yeah. It'll be a good test for the Patriots defense. I mean, as positive, I'm pretty sure that the Patriots are going to be able to put points on them. It's just a question of, will the Falcons will they be able to keep in the game? I think they probably will. So a lot, again, it's going to be on Tom Brady a lot this week. He hasn't really been making turnovers. He's been, he's a guy who's going to he'll take a delay call, or he'll take, he'll throw a ball away before he makes a bad play. So that's one good thing about him, is even when you put the heat on him, he doesn't make the huge mistake. Mm-hmm. Even the interception he threw against the Jets was negligible because they threw it way down the field. So if I had to pick it, I would say, somewhere in the range of Patriots 31, Falcons 27, in that range. That's what I'm expecting to see.
That is pretty close. That might be a little closer than what I'm thinking.
You think maybe the Patriots can
27-18?
That would be nice. Is that 6 field goals for Jason Elam? That would be fun.
I like watching kickers. What can I say?
You know what? Field goals is what put fans in the seats.